Slay the dragon before the dragon slays you. Hi everybody, my name is Mona DeLacy and I'm going to be talking to you guys about self-talk and how it can increase or decrease performance. So give my video a thumbs up if you like it and subscribe to my channel for future sports psychology videos.
Oh, you make me want to talk back to you.
So what is self-talk? Self-talk is often the inner chatter that you have with yourself and could even be the chatter that you have with yourself as an external way. It can either be very positive or it can be very negative, and this can obviously increase or decrease performance. Now, self-talk is something that it's a very important skill if done correctly, and it's also very important if when you do have those negative thoughts, in order to kill those negative thoughts immediately and replace it with positive thoughts. Now, the thing with self-talk that's important is you want to make it as positive as possible. You don't often need to make self-talk very long. It could just be a sentence, or it could be a word or a few words that you actually tell yourself to get your self-confidence up and actually just make you feel positive to go out there and do the skill that you need to do for your sport, or even something that you can do in the mornings when you wake up just to make you feel really good, really confident, and get you ready for the day. Now, self-talk can also be used in all the other mental skills that you actually use or train. Now, for example, with goal setting, when you set your goals, you always want to make it as positive as possible. When you also set your goals, you want to tell yourself that you can achieve those goals. So always make sure that your goals are realistic. When you tell yourself that you can achieve the goals and you're very positive about it, that is a very good definition of actually what self-talk is. It's the same thing when you do visualization. So visualization again is when you close your eyes. Some people call it mental imagery. Some people can even do it as meditation. But it's when you see yourself in a positive way, performing a skill or a task, and then not obviously doing it with your physical body, but just with your mind. So when you visualize, you want to always visualize in the positive, and you want to tell yourself that you can do it. There's a lot of athletes out there that use self-talk in order to also get their arousal levels up just before they go and compete as well. Where self-talk can actually be a bit detrimental to athletes is when they psych themselves up too much to a point where their arousal levels increases way too much, and then that's when an athlete gets nervous, they get anxious, and then at the end of the day, that's when performance drops. So always make sure that even with your self-talk, that you do it to a point where it can increase your performance and not be detrimental to your performance at the end of the day. So another thing that's important with self-talk is focus on the things that you can control. Now, you cannot always control what people tell you. You can't always control what parents tell you, coaches tell you, or even the people around you that tell you either positive or negative things. You could have a coach that breaks you down a lot, or even a parent that can be very negative. If you let those things stay with you and you start to rehearse those negative things in your mind, that is when it's going to decrease performance and also affects your self-confidence as an athlete. What you can control is how you perceive yourself, the things that you tell yourself, and also controlling the emotion with regards to what these people are telling you. So it's very important when negative things around you happen that are outside of your control. That's when you should take control and say to yourself, I'm not going to let these things get me down. I'm going to take these negative words that these people are telling me, and I'm going to throw it out the window, and I'm going to be replacing it with positive words. So if someone tells you you are not good enough, you aren't strong enough, you're not fast enough, you're not pretty enough, go and take that and tell yourself, I am fast enough, I'm beautiful, I am strong, I'm putting in the work, and I'm going to be successful. Those are ways that you can actually take the negative and turn it into the positive. So that is an example of taking negative self-talk and making it positive self-talk in order to increase your performance. Self-talk that's also very important is the mind and the body is connected. So whatever the mind perceives, the body will achieve. This is a very true statement of as soon as you start to think really negatively and you tend to talk to yourself really negatively, there's almost a 0% chance that you're going to be performing at your optimal level. So the thing is, always speak to yourself in a positive way. Be positive, use the self-talk to boost your self-confidence. Again, it's a mental skill that you need to practice. So even if you do go through a stage where, say, you don't feel as positive, you don't feel as happy, you don't feel as strong, go down or go and sit down, write down a few positive words, go and assess where you are currently at, and actually take that, write some positive things down of actually yourself, and then take those positive words and tell it to yourself over and over and over again until you believe it. It's not always easy, but if you go and you take the negative and you throw it out of the window and replace it with a positive, like I said earlier, it will make the world of difference. So again, getting back to the slay the dragon before the dragon slays you. If you speak to yourself in a negative way all the time and let even the things that other people outside of your control get into your mind, these are the things then at the end of the day is going to affect you totally as a whole as an athlete. So take charge, use the self-talk in a positive way. If you can't think of self-talk words or words that you want to use that's going to make you feel positive, write them down and read them to yourself every single day. You can even take those self-talk words or sentences and you can actually stick it on your mirror, put it next to your bed, put it in the bathroom. So there's many different ways that you can actually just make it visual around you so that you can keep seeing it to remind yourself to keep staying positive. So as an athlete, if you're going to compete, it could be anything from a local meet to you competing at a really high international event, as an elite athlete or as a beginner or as an intermediate, it doesn't really matter. But if you speak to yourself in a negative way before you're going to go on the field or onto the platform, if you are a weightlifter, you're going to make yourself nervous, you're going to make yourself stress, and you're going to cause anxiety. During that time, you can do some breathing techniques. You can speak to yourself in a positive way. You do not need to overdo it, but just have a few sentences or words or even things that you've written down. Read it over and over again so that you can actually just feel a lot more positive when you go out and do your sport. So again, speak to yourself in a positive way. Enjoy what you do, because also if you do not enjoy what you do, it's going to be very hard in order to go and actually tell yourself be positive, be happy, but you actually don't enjoy your sport at all. So obviously that is a big factor with actually using the self-talk and combining it with your sport that you do. So use those words as a positive. Make it so that you don't use it in a way to make yourself stress even more, or even make yourself a lot more anxious, or make that's when the heart rate goes up, the hands start to sweat, you tend to feel super jittery before you do your event. So use some words to calm you down. Use some words to make you feel positive, make you feel on top of your game. It can also get you into the zone so that you can compete at your optimal level. Guys, so take the challenge there today and go and write down your positive affirmations and start making a difference today. Read it to yourself in the morning, at night before you go to bed. I can promise you, if you look at this over and over, when you do have a day that you feel a little bit negative, it will make the world of difference. So if you like my video, give it a thumbs up, go and subscribe to my channel and see my future sports psychology videos.